What's up, guys? All Things Relevant podcast, episode 34. Giannis episode. Charles Barkley episode. Hakeem Olajuwon episode.
That's better. You're getting close.
Or you can only move your head so many times where I've run out.
You're getting close. You're missing one.
I mean, Shaquille O'Neal Shaquille O'Neal episode.
Say that with your chest, young blood.
What?
And you're missing one more, the most important one of them all.
34.
Charles Oakley. What's wrong with you? The goon. Everyone needs one on their team.
Yeah, he's a goon, all right.
Damn right.
He's a goon.
Ask the New York Knicks owner. He was coming after him.
Yes, he was. Asked that casino, said he owes him
I
money.
was about to say, he better go to jail. He going to jail now.
I guess Paul Pierce episode, you can throw him in there.
Go to jail now. Harukin.
Paul Pierce spent the whole NBA career built like me, and I don't understand how that happened.
You remember when he got
stabbed
hurt? Oh, yeah, I remember when he got stabbed.
I was about to say, there's no quote-unquote. He got stabbed.
He
He almost died. Remember when he almost died?
Air quotes.
I've been stabbed in the back more times than Paul Pierce.
Woo!
Sigh high.
Yeah, nice verse. Yeah, when he got
Dislocated
hurt,
his shoulder.
and then ran back
Yeah,
on the stage
And
like
he
he's
was like
Willis
in
Reed.
agonizing pain. He was like waving at everybody like, this isn't like your presidential nomination. You didn't just get elected. Just chill.
Wasn't it just a shoulder injury and he got wheelchaired
It was
off
his knee.
the court?
It was his knee because he was like holding it, wasn't he?
Bruh, he like bumped knees with Sasha Vujacic or something, and then fell out, and they had to bring a wheelchair for him.
But
Sasha
remember when
Vujacic
Rondo
might be
dislocated
like-
his elbow when he tripped over Dwayne Wade?
Oh,
And then
was out
came
there
back
playing
and
with one
scored like
arm, he was
19 points. He dunked.
He did what he did. I forgot about that.
He got a dunk.
It doesn't matter because his hands are like the size of Slender Man.
Yeah.
It just wraps around the ball.
And he fell on that arm again. Like he stole the ball and like
That's
fell
right.
again, got back up, ran down, and got shot a
That was-
layup.
But some people are built different, man.
That's true.
Ask Draymond Green.
I was about to say, don't say that, bro. You gonna get punched in the face.
Tristan Thompson wasn't
I
happening.
thought that was the funniest thing ever when it was like, yeah, man, we're just cut from a different cloth. And then it was like, Tristan Thompson punches Draymond Green in the cloth.
They said like he tried to apologize for him. Like, man, I didn't really mean it, man. It was just the heat of the moment. Tristan Thompson wasn't having it, and right to the jaw.
And now who's built from a different cloth? Was that the same cloth that you're wiping that blood off your mouth with, or what? Anyway, all right, Austin Drew, episode 34, all things relevant. Let's get the business side out of the way. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if we can make this episode good, we could do anything.
Can take over the world.
Yes, we could. Email theatrpodcast@gmail.com.
Way too stressful taking over the world.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. IG, Instagram, ATR Podcast. Twitter is the ATR Podcast. I had a mini stroke
IG,
there.
baby.
Yeah. Facebook, All Things Relevant. You type that in the search bar. That takes you to our
Austin's face is literally
homepage.
drooping as we speak.
And our website is atrpodcast.wordpress.com. Already set that up. I give him praise every episode for that. Did a good job. And our YouTube, the ATR Podcast. And we now have episodes that are going to be immediately put up on our YouTube for you guys to listen to. Episode 33 is up. That's the first one we've been able to have uploaded to the YouTube channel. So check that out if you prefer YouTube. But as you all know from last week, we are everywhere. We're on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, SoundCloud. You name it, we are selling mixtapes out of our.
Austin doing that.
we are selling mixtapes out of our trunk of ATR Podcast, Nipsey Hussle style. We are here,
do.
and if you know who Nipsey Hussle is, that's great. I like that. And let's just hop into, or per se, enter the huddle. Not a lot going on. Not gonna lie to you. If you don't like baseball, which none of us do,
Baseball is a horrible sport.
here's what we have to report to you.
I pray to God every night Maximus never plays baseball.
Unless he makes a lot of money.
How about I say, you should probably pray he does, because he'll make a lot of money.
I'd
until
rather
he's
play
old.
soccer, make a lot of money playing soccer. And they can do tax evasion too.
Canadians.
Maple Leafs.
Oh, football. Yeah.
Jouer au foot.
Oh.
That means I like that.
Oh, French Canadian.
I hate all of you with a passion.
In Montreal.
Not one redeeming quality between the two of you. Not a single redeeming
I was waiting for
quality.
Takashi, Canadian. Canadian. Canadian.
I blow your voice box out trying to do that.
Ari will not be joining us for episodes 35 through 40.
He now looks like Jim Kelly.
So, Carmelo to Houston.
Hey, bro, that's really messed up. All right, guys, it's very nice.
But we have no redeeming quality.
There's no way from Buffalo to listen to our
Exactly.
podcast anyway.
Well, I love Jim Kelly anyway.
Carmelo to
Miami.
Houston.
What?
We talked about this, but I think it's actually coming to an end. Looks like there's a buyout from the Hawks going to Houston. What do you guys think about that? I mean, we may have touched on it before. Does it matter? Does he help the team? Does he hurt? I mean, James Harden takes a lot of shots,
Hurts
which he
the
should.
team.
So, Ari, that's your boy. What do you think about that? MVP of the league.
Last time I checked, Carmelo and D'Antoni didn't like each other too much, so it's weird that he's
So why
going
not just
there.
bring him back? Yeah. Mhm.
I know.
Yeah,
I'll
bring
go
him
for
back
him
in.
too.
I know, right? Let's go for him when he's older
That makes sense.
and even more surly.
And won't come off the bench.
Right, yeah, let's do that.
He's gonna be that dude where like people come in to sub out and be like,
Oh, yeah, he gonna hit him with the Sunset Park joint,
I'm.
where he's like, nah, bro, you better sit down.
Yeah, you can. Somebody else can come out.
Top 5.
I mean, but they only have one other person. They only have, one other person. It's like
So, I mean, like,
PJ Tucker, like the only other small forward they got.
so he.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I guess he didn't because they traded everybody else or got rid of him. I don't know. I don't understand like what it'll do as far as their team. I don't think it's going to help them a lot.
Their bench sucks.
And I feel like I would rather have 3 really good bench players than 1 Carmelo that's old.
Yeah.
Yeah, much rather that.
Like, I'm trying to think of, like, some of the people that were out there. Like, even, well, I mean, he might slow stuff down, but, like, somebody like Greg Monroe. Or even, like, Fred Van Fleet.
Don't you take
Was a
that
free
man away
agent
from
this
Toronto?
From
We
Wichita
gonna keep that
State.
Canuck,
Y'all
dude.
got Greg Monroe, too, now. They signed
I
Greg
understand.
Monroe yesterday.
From Wichita State?
Yeah.
We're
Like, he
keeping him up north.
played great last year.
Mm-hmm.
But they need somebody else. Like, I don't know who else, but they need some people coming off the bench. They don't have a bench at all.
Let me ask you a Carmelo question.
They have
Eric
Michael
Gordon.
Carter Williams.
Eric Gordon, right?
Yeah, they have Eric Gordon. That's it.
That's it.
I like Eric Gordon, actually.
I like Eric Gordon's game.
Um,
He does his
Ryan
thing.
Anderson.
Has Carmelo lived up to
Carmelo?
his
Caramello.
expectations, per se?
Yeah.
Depends on what your expectation of Carmelo is.
I knew he was a great scorer,
I don't
and he's
have
done
any.
that.
I don't have any, but
Has he lived up to my expectations for Carmelo?
Sure.
No.
Okay.
Because if anybody knows me, around 2002, I was like, bro, Melo's better than LeBron, bro. What are y'all talking about? He just won a championship, bro. Like, watch. Melo gonna be better than LeBron. LeBron's all hype. I'm not a great eye for talent. Also,
he is not a talent
Shouldn't
scout.
be a scout for any organization
I am
ever.
not a good eye.
I also didn't like Kobe when the Lakers first got him.
Do you remember what you said about Larry Markkinen?
What?
When you were like, what we're talking about here is just a waste. Somebody's contracted we're not even going to be worried about in a couple years, and he ended up being like, he had a couple rookie records for the Chicago Bulls.
What's that mean, though?
That he's better than what you said.
Team records mean nothing.
No, he had rookie records for himself, not for
Like
the Bulls.
Chicago Bulls rookie
No,
records?
no.
What
Like,
rookie record does he have?
He has like the most 3 points by any rookie, not for the Bulls.
Who cares?
The NBA books.
NBA.
All I'm saying is that remember when you were like,
Elias
hey,
Sports
So-
Bureau
so
cares.
who-
continuing the
So do
trend
you-
of your eye for
so
talent.
do you want me to go back and look at like rookies of the year?
What does that mean?
Just saying, like people that had great rookie years and then like never amount to anything.
I don't think Laurie Markkinen's a fluke, though.
Yeah.
I still don't think he was a great pick. Not for what they did.
I believe your words were like something like we aren't even going to talk about this dude anymore.
Probably not.
No, I think he's pretty good.
I think he's all right.
I think
So Laurie Markkinen is going to be an all-star.
I don't know who's going to be.
there's
an
a
all-star,
lot of good
but-
players that weren't all-stars, then.
Who's the
And
best?
guess where they all are? In the West. And guess what they do? They all play the same position.
Who's the best
There's a lot
non-all-star
of good
player?
players that aren't
Who's the
all-stars.
best non-all-star?
Best player right now that doesn't make the all-star team
Dame
for
Lillard?
whatever reason. Okay,
He's been an all-star team, hasn't he?
name one.
I
in
mean,
the
he's
East.
made one, but he's only made like one. I mean, Melo fell in the same thing. Like Melo didn't make an all-star for his like first 3 years.
Yeah,
So that happens. But
has he been on ever since?
who, Melo?
Yeah.
No, Melo's only made like 7.
And rightfully so.
Like 6 or 7, something like
rightfully
that.
so.
It's not looking good.
Dude's underachieved.
I mean, how many all-stars did you think Reggie Miller made?
That's a
I
perfect
think he only
three.
said like 4 or something.
Yeah, he only has
Probably
like
only
4 or
three.
5.
I mean,
or
Cheryl
something
made
like that.
all of them.
Yeah.
Who would win one-on-one here, Cheryl?
Cheryl.
Cheryl. We've had this conversation before.
That
No
would,
offense about that. No offense about that.
But I'm not backing down on Larry Markkinen.
I don't know, man.
Okay, so
Well, I guess we have to revisit this in like 2 years or something.
We have to revisit this
August
in, like,
7th,
5. like it has to be. He has to have like
Yeah, mark it down.
Like it has to be
August
like,
7th at 8:48. Ari says Laurie Markkinen will never be
but
revisited again.
even right now, like we don't talk about Larry Markkinen. Like
Because he played for
People
the
who
Bulls.
play who like
Right.
NBA talk about Laurie Markkinen.
Yeah, people.
I don't know, bro. I listen to a lot of NBA podcasts. I'm gonna tell you who they
Because-
don't talk about. Larry Markkinen.
Who else do they talk about besides
if
LeBron?
somebody says something about the Bulls, they're like, "Oh yeah, Larry played. He played pretty well. Yeah."
But
And
who
then
else-
that's about it.
who
But-
else do they
Who
talk
else is
about
on the
besides LeBron?
Bulls?
But it's also like a bad team. Like
Exactly. So I'm saying like they're obviously not going to talk
so,
about a
yeah,
bad team.
but you also can't base those numbers on a bad team.
How can you not though?
Yeah,
There's a lot of people that are like bad team, good numbers guys.
Name me
One of them
3.
plays for the Rockets right now. His name is Michael Carter Williams. That's why he won the Rookie of the Year.
Okay, that's 1. I'm waiting for the other 2.
Right now, off the top of my head,
Since there's so many of them.
Lou Williams has been like that.
Lou Williams is a good player. You can't.
He's
I will fight
decent
you
player.
tooth and nail on that.
He's
one.
a decent.
He's
player.
a good player.
He's a decent player.
He's a good player.
He's a decent player.
He's a good player.
He's a decent player.
We can do this all night. I ain't got a damn thing to do. He's a good
He's a
player.
mixed review, as Ari would say.
Because the thing is, like, if he was so good, then why can't he stick on one team?
Because he's a movable piece.
But okay, but the same
It's
thing for Dwight.
attractive to
then.
other teams.
You said Dwight goes to different
Yeah,
teams.
Dwight's a
and
Hall of
he's
Famer, but
Hall of Famer,
Dwight
All-Star.
keeps getting
He's
moved
a
team
Hall of
to
Famer
team.
from his past numbers.
Okay.
But he's moving team to team.
Yeah, because now he's not that great of a player. That wasn't my argument. My argument never was that he's a great player currently. I said his past, what he's done in the past,
At
is
Orlando.
what's going to make him a Hall of Famer.
So his Orlando time was what made him.
Yeah, like being the defensive player of the year for what 2-3 straight years, like and making it to an NBA Finals, being an All Star, like that's enough to get you in the Hall of Fame.
It shouldn't be, but by NBA standards, yes, it is.
Well, I mean, shouldn't or is different things. It is though.
It is, but it
Like,
shouldn't be. Like,
it-
by no
it
means should it be,
wasn't-
oh, you won a defensive player of the year and you went to the NBA Finals. You're a Hall of Famer. You're
Well,
one of
I
the
mean,
greatest
that-
ever to do it.
Yeah,
That's-
he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
But that's not the way it should be.
So let me ask you.
That's
Okay,
legitimately not the way it should be.
defensive player of the year. Let me ask you all this.
if that's the case, then Reggie Miller shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
And I agree.
Yeah, I thought we already said that.
I'm not going to argue that.
What
That's
is
the reason why Chris Webber won't be in the Hall of Fame.
And I think he shouldn't
well,
be.
well, take that back. He will get in the Hall of Fame, but he shouldn't be.
He shouldn't be.
By those same measures,
No,
because he never did either.
Exactly. By all means, no, he shouldn't be. I'm not going to argue that.
So what's more impressive for an NBA defensive player of the year? If I'm going by position wise, if a guard wins it or a center wins
If a
it,
guard
If
or
a guard wins it.
I agree. So I'm looking through these are the all defensive player of the years from 82 to current.
Yeah, it's been like Michael Jordan.
Okay.
And,
Yeah. Let me see if you can name these. Okay. So you have one, obviously.
another
Or guards
guard.
or
Yeah.
big
Name
men?
me some guards.
So
that-
is Kawhi considered a guard in that list, or is he a small
He'd
forward?
be a small forward.
I will
Because
tell
I don't
you.
know how they. I don't know.
I think
They
they listed
have
him
him
as a small
listed as a
forward.
small forward.
All
Just
right, so
four.
Kawhi doesn't count. So it's like it's Jordan and
You know the other one.
shoot, I just did this. We just had this
You
conversation.
know the other one. I'll be honest with you. There's only two people that I know.
I don't know. Go ahead and say
Gary
it.
Payton.
Yeah, GP.
GP,
yeah.
So the other one, Sidney Moncrief,
For the Bucks.
2 years in a
Moncrief,
row. Mark Eaton, Alvin Robertson, and then we had Michael Cooper. These are 82 through 86.
And Cooper's weird too, because Cooper should be a small forward.
Yeah.
He's like 6'9". He's about the same size as Kawhi, right?
Yeah.
This is
it
impressive right here. So 94, Dikembe. You had
Yeah.
GP, 95, 96. Then you had Mutombo in 96, 97.
Yeah, Mutombo got like
97,
5 or
98.
something.
Yeah.
Then you had Alonzo Mourning twice, and then Dikembe Mutombo again in 2000,
And then you got Ben Wallace.
Ben
for like
Wallace.
4 years.
4
or
years
something.
straight.
You had Ben Wallace,
That's
4 out of
ridiculous.
5.
Yeah, so
And then you had a
like-
random Marcus Camby sighting.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
And then we
That
had,
was New York.
That's New York
that was-
can be, yeah.
Yep.
Would have been New York.
No, Denver Nuggets.
Oh.
Ooh.
That was the Nuggets. Then we had Howard 3 years.
Mhm.
Tyson Chandler. Mark Gasol.
But
Yeah,
the, but
I
the,
remember
the
that
year
Gasol.
that Tyson Chandler won, they won the NBA championship.
Oh, for the
Dallas Mavericks.
okay.
Too shy.
Actually, you know what? Maybe
That was a great year for
It was.
Tyson Chandler.
this is. They said that Tyson Chandler played for the Knicks. I don't know if this.
He won it for the Knicks. It wasn't the Dallas year.
So this year that Tyson Chandler won
What year was it?
was 2011, 2012.
Yep, that was definitely New York Knicks Tyson.
Wow, really?
So
Because Mavs would have been, what, 06, 07?
Oh man, I can't even remember. I
the
could've
Kevin
sworn it
Garnett
was-
won it in 07.
KG won it.
That's what's up. KG out here getting trophies.
But even like look at the players that you're naming.
Okay.
Out of those players, maybe Michael Cooper and Sidney Moncrief might be in the Hall of Fame.
I think he is.
But everybody on that list is Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
Rodman,
Except
David
for Marcus
Robinson.
Camby.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that David Robinson only won it once.
Because he was
He-
more of a
There we
all-around
go.
center. He
I was
wasn't
gonna
a
say for a
strictly
lot of those
defensive.
for a lot of those years he had to be like that. He was the best
He
player.
was the
on that
best
team.
player.
Because like
He was
college-
the focus of them offensively until Tim Duncan got there.
He has a game where he scored like 60 points with no 3-pointers.
That's
Oh, it was it was the last game of the season. Shaq said he was winning the scoring title, and he came in and dropped 71
Yeah.
without hitting a single three.
Yeah.
Because Shaq was celebrating. Oh, I've got the scoring title. This thing. Robinson's like, hold my beer. I got you. I got you. 71 blocks.
So that's
he
why.
He has the most blocks in NCAA history, and he averaged like something stupid.
He was
he
the
can
only
jump.
player that was 7 foot tall.
I believe it. Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause he could jump
he
out
didn't
of
play
the
that
gym.
long ago.
But he could jump out of the gym
Like
and
he
he
was out
ran
here
the
like-
court.
They didn't have HD, but they definitely had TV when he was playing. So the other people we had Kawhi, like you said, Draymond, then we had Rudy Gobert win last year. I thought AD probably should have won last
Stifle
year,
talent.
but
His injury is what held him back
that's
from
what.
winning awards.
And he also does a little bit more than Rudy Gobert does as far as like offensively too.
Yeah, Gobert's only a defensive player.
Right,
But in everybody's defense about the defensive player award,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like the Gasol year,
yeah.
like it wasn't that he got like a ton of blocks or
Rebounds.
anything. Like he got a ton of rebounds, and then they were like, yeah, but he's such a presence down low,
Yeah.
and so
He's
it
an
was,
anchor of the defense.
That's a hard thing to like give to somebody. 'Cause,
Well,
like
it's
like
a-
you're saying,
it's
like
very-
it's a hard thing to have these conversations about
It's
anything
very objective.
because everything is objective.
well, I mean, like the points title. That's so easy to give because like okay, you have the most points.
Yeah.
Or like MVP, it's
Scoring
hard,
title.
but
Yeah.
defensive thing, it could be a
MVP is not what MVP stands for.
No, true, that's
MVP
true.
is best player on the best team
Yeah.
at this point in time.
Because in if you have what 30 All-Stars in the league, which you got 15 players on the All-Star team.
Yeah.
So you got 30 All-Stars.
Mm-hmm.
You have 30 MVPs because every team that they're on, they're the
Right,
most valuable player.
Or
Yeah.
you could say like whoever the worst team is, but that one player made them to the playoffs or made them. You know what I mean?
But
That'd
their
be-
their,
teams,
their
you
big
could say he's the most
argument,
valuable
their
one.
big argument with that is like the Kevin Love year when he averaged like
In Minnesota.
28
20 or
and
whatever.
whatever.
It was, yeah.
So they said the reason why he was third place in MVP votes that year is because if you would have took him off that team, they'd still have the same record. Like they
I
still
think
be,
they have
they still be bad.
They still be bad,
basically,
yeah, but
like because they didn't make the playoffs, so they still would have been bad no matter whether he was there or not. They still weren't a playoff team.
Yeah.
They were still in the bottom of the West. So he can't be the MVP.
I hate the definition by that manner. Like the Heisman Trophy too. I hate that. That's stupid. It's usually the best player on the best team.
It's usually the best quarterback on the best team,
Yeah.
Pretty much. Or unless
Yeah.
the like
unless it's Reggie Bush.
Ricky Williams won the Heisman
because Ricky
too,
Williams is
Ricky
absolutely
was
amazing.
He's one of the
But
best college
sometimes
football
that
ever.
kind of evens out though.
I agree.
Like the year that like Tebow won it, like it's like, bruh, like
He was not the best player in college football at the time.
Who's better?
All right, let's just look this up.
He broke Herschel Walker's record in the SEC with like 50 touchdowns in a season. That's crazy.
Do we need to talk about this man's arm accuracy? Like, I know you're going to champion
that
for
doesn't
him, and
matter.
I'm
I
cool with
don't
that.
really.
No, I don't even like Tim
But
Tebow like
there's
that,
ways
but-
ways to skew that to where you can't really prove that because he threw a lot of like short stuff,
Short.
and then so it's like, yeah, well he threw this many, but then you go and look at how many of those passes went over 15 yards
It
or
was like
something,
7.
and then yeah, so there's ways you can skew numbers to where it's like, well, when he goes to a camp. He can't throw 45 yards.
Right.
It's like, yeah, but we just won't run any plays where he has to throw the ball 45 yards.
But that's like
so it
saying
doesn't
like
matter.
Yeah.
that Vince Young was awesome, but he couldn't hold it.
Vince Young deserved it that year
But why didn't Tebow deserve it?
because Vince Young was by far the most
didn't win
impressive
it that year,
player.
did he?
Vince Young won it the year they won the championship. I
But
think.
Tebow didn't win it.
No, no.
I thought Reggie
Tebow
Bush
won
or
it.
somebody won it that year.
Yeah, I think Tebow won it. Didn't he win it?
Tebow won it in
Tebow won it-
2007.
The one they won the national championship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that Tebow was a really good college football player, and it's because partially because of his size, because of his running.
You want me to
ability.
troll y'all, make y'all mad, or do you
I don't
want me to
care.
leave this alone?
No, go ahead.
I don't care about Tim
Fire it
Tebow.
off.
Tim Tebow might be the greatest college player ever.
I'm not arguing that because
Like
stats
numbers
wise,
wise,
it's crazy.
Numbers wise, and like accomplishments,
No,
he
I-
might be the greatest
I agree.
college player ever.
Does that mean he's the most talented? No.
I think
but
that's
he
where
did the
people.
most
That's
with
what
he
makes
had.
people mad because they're like, no, like Drew said, no, bro, but he was inaccurate, and it's like, yeah. And then go look at his wins,
Right.
and look
And
at
then
what
see him
championships
run
he
and
won.
no one could stop him.
Yeah,
But when you're
and
put
then-
in a certain system, it's catered to you to have stupid numbers. Look at Andre Ware in Houston.
But that's
great
everything.
numbers.
That's,
like
that's
it's
why Tim Couch won because we had a pass. We had a
Christ.
pass system.
Jesus Christ.
It is.
That's part of the game. Like,
yeah, but that's like
you're
saying,
not
Drew,
gonna.
you're really good at threes, but what we're going to do is just make you on the post. Like, we want to have a system that runs around you being able to do whatever you can do.
Right.
You can be a product of a system and not be a good player.
But, okay, let me...
Look at all the quarterbacks at Alabama.
So,
man, they won a national championship. They must be really good, man. I'm telling you.
But that's not... But their quarterbacks aren't heralded as that. Like that's not what they're... They're not saying that about A.J. McCarron and them. Like,
but, okay, here's my other argument. Tim Tebow also played in the SEC. Which
you play in the hardest conference.
Alabama also is in the SEC.
Right, but you
play in the hardest conference in the hardest division of that conference.
Yes.
Like Bama's the best team in the West. That's it. Like they're the big bad team in the West.
LSU.
Everybody else is in the East.
Georgia.
Them
dogs.
Yeah.
Them dogs.
Jesus Christ.
Them dogs, boy.
All right, so
but that's like saying like Tom Brady isn't the greatest NFL quarterback because he's a product of the system.
No, I think he's been a good quarterback in area.
As I already said, you can skew
because he's accurate.
You can skew
and
numbers.
Smart with the ball.
Here's the only one that I would argue that this number is too high because of their system or whatever you want to call it. And it's not that they ran a system for him because they had good running backs too. But
they also had another quarterback that was great too. His freshman year.
Yeah, Cam Newton.
No, they had three then because I forgot all about Cam.
Yeah,
Cam didn't even play,
and he transferred.
They had what was the guy's name that was starting?
Chris Leak.
Yeah,
Chris Leak was really good. So here's his stats. Tebow's first year actually being a starting quarterback, threw for 3,000 yards, 32 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He ran for 895 yards, and 23 of those were touchdowns. That's the most he had, right? His throwing percentage was 66.9%.
But
okay, I'm just you still have to throw that in there.
You have to throw those. You have to throw those passes too, though.
Yeah.
Like,
I can throw a 5-yard out pass. I can throw one.
Maybe. And he's only had
difficult.
5 interceptions, or 6 interceptions was the most. His last year, he ran for 910 yards, 14 touchdowns, threw for almost 2,000 yards, 21 touchdowns.
And arguably could have won the Heisman again that year.
So 2007 was the year that he ran for 23, threw for 32. And that's the year he won the Heisman Trophy. And he was a finalist in 2008. And he's a finalist in 2009.
Bruh.
I'm not saying that he is the best college quarterback, but he is a really, really, really good college football player.
He's a good college football player. I'm not going to take it away from him.
Bruh, he might be the greatest college football.
The only thing I can say is like Ricky Williams' college football stats look like you were playing Madden 2009 and you were playing against like the YMCA South. He used to have the most yards. Y'all hear that typing? That's stat checking. That's stat checking what that is. Also, if anybody hasn't seen the 30 for 30 on Ricky Williams, go ahead and do it. And tell me that he is
the first 30 for 30.
It's the first one I remember. It's the one.
I think it might be the first one.
It's the first one.
Run, Ricky, run.
That one is.
I think I've seen that like 4 times.
My goodness. So Ricky's best year, 1998, ran for 2,327 yards, 29 touchdowns. 29 touchdowns.
Still not the best season by a college running back.
No, Ron Dane has the most rushing yards ever.
Yeah, but in a single season, though. Barry Sanders. 2,628 yards with 37 touchdowns. Yeah, hold that.
But he's not even the best.
That's a good year.
Yeah.
That's a decent year.
Yeah.
That's a good year.
But Barry's one of those things where it's like, did he play long enough to be...
No, he's one of the greatest running backs ever to play the game.
Right, but he didn't play long enough.
But he Biggie Smalled himself.
Yeah,
it's
like the Bo
quit
Jackson
early.
thing. People are like Bo
But why
Jackson.
would you-
And he played for a horrible team, so it's just like,
Why continue to kill yourself? And
No, I mean, I'm not faulting his reasons, but that reason is what takes him away.
Nah, he's
from,
still one
like-
of the greatest running backs of all time. Yeah. For what he had, I can't remember.
Yeah, but
someone had
see,
a
but here
stat.
comes the caveats. Like, it's like, if you did this.
No, I'm saying if
did
you
that.
took all the yards that he had negative plays, and then he still had positive yardage. Let's say he even got half of those negative yards, his yardage would be something ridiculous. His offensive line was terrible.
Yeah, I know, but that's still a caveat, though. Like,
He's
if a lot of people did a lot of other things, then
if you ask anyone that knows football, they will tell you Barry Sanders is one of the greatest running backs of all time.
yeah,
There's
but
not going
what?
to be an
But,
argument about that.
but that's not what I'm arguing. The argument that I'm saying is that by him not playing long enough and playing in a bad situation, it hurts his numbers. Like, his talent is there. Like, you can say a lot of people's talent is there, but they don't put the numbers up that puts them in that upper echelon of people.
Can you be? I guess that makes sense.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like, there's a lot of good players. Like, yeah, like, yes, he is one of the great running backs ever. But you can also say that about Bo. Like, Bo was one of the great running backs.
But injury killed
he got
him.
injured and like he didn't play. He went
Yeah.
off when he got better. He went and played baseball for
It
the
was
rest of his
smart because
career.
his hip was dead, legitimately dead.
Right. But that holds him. Like a lot of people still view him and say like, oh, bro, well, like
what could've been?
Bo was like one of the best running backs I ever seen. And then you go look at his stats and he has like 10 touchdowns. And it's like, so if I'm a kid that never saw him play, like you're gonna tell me that and I'm gonna look at him and be like, what? You're gonna tell me this dude is one of the greatest? Like, he didn't do anything.
That's what
There's a random third string running back in the NFL right now that has these same
That's
numbers.
what film's for, though. Like, if you got film up, your talent just jumps off the film for some people.
So I think what we need to start doing with arguments about sports or debates. I mean, arguments sound really aggressive. Debates about sports is you need to say, am I debating this dude's career or am I debating this dude's talent? And I think that's where we fall in with like LeBron and Jordan. Because people come at the debate with career numbers and stats, and then the people that defend it always defend it with talent. It's not like so it's like, man, like, yeah, bro, he'll never be able to beat Jordan because Jordan has 6 championships in 6 tries and never lost. And they be like, yeah, but Jordan can't beat LeBron one-on-one. It's like, well, what are we arguing? Are we arguing talent or are we arguing stats? What are we arguing?
Right.
Because stats is what separates people. Because everybody's talented. Some people are better than others. Some people are elite. But at the end of the day, we can't go by your talent. Your talent is subjective. Your talent is where you are.
What you actually produce is what matters.
What matters.
Right. That's like being like, dude, he can jump higher than anybody else, but he didn't win a dunk contest or didn't, do this or didn't do that. And it's like, yeah, I mean, he had all the talent in the world. Also, did people really say that he could beat Jordan one-on-one?
Yeah.
But in that case, like, why wouldn't you just be like, well, he couldn't beat Shaq one-on-one?
That's what I'm about to say. Anytime people say that, I'm like, okay, so that means Shaq is the greatest player to ever play.
Yeah, like, no one can check him one-on-one.
You're not checking him.
No one can check him.
That's why that's why my stance on the greatest center ever to play is Shaquille O'Neal, because you can say, oh, yeah, but, man, like, Kareem was this. It's like, yeah, Kareem ain't touching Shaq if Shaq wants to dunk on Kareem. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No one.
If Shaq wants to dunk on anybody, he's dunking on you.
Did.
You have to foul him. You have to jump on his back and go for the ride.
He dunked on everybody. He dunked on David Robinson. He dunked on. I'm pretty sure he dunked on Hakeem. I don't know. Hakeem might have gotten out of the way.
He did dunk on Hakeem in the finals.
Like, and then Hakeem dunked on him mentally and
physically, spiritually, emotionally, everything.
Outer body.
So that's the thing. So that's the other side of Hakeem's talent. Yeah. Whereas Shaq's main talent was his physical attribute.
Hakeem's was moves, footwork. His
was pure skill.
Yeah,
it was pure skill set.
Remember when he made David Robinson look stupid?
It's the same argument.
Hakeem made everyone look stupid. Every single Hakeem now will make most of the centers in the NBA look stupid.
It's crazy.
He was the most skilled center ever.
Yes, ever.
Without a doubt.
Ever.
Fight me. Square up.
Arvydas Sabonis.
Another great player.
If he came early.
He's another one of those guys where it's like, you see, like, as a person watching the game, you see the talent. Mm-hmm. You see the mind. Yeah. Like, you see all of that. Yeah. But then if you look at his numbers and then you look at, like, what he did, like, in the game, you're like, bro, like, he ain't that good. And that's what people is going to say to you. So that's why I think we need to separate these arguments. Like, what are you arguing me? Like, what are you saying to me? Stats or talent? Production or what you could have been because of your skill set?
Some of those things are so hard because, like, sometimes, like, there are just situations where they just couldn't get the stats because maybe outside of talent, like
there's a lot of things. There's life.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of variables.
There's this little thing that we all have. It's called a life, and that affects you. Whether you're rich or poor, it affects you in some way. Shape,
no, it does. Yeah, but like some, it's like, what if they're just on a terrible team and it's like the coach didn't use them right? But like you said, it's life.
But that accounts for it. Like that goes into it. That's your career.
That's true.
Like in college. So like you said about Tebow. Like, you have to then give credit to Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
By seeing that talent in Tebow and going and get him.
Yes.
Everybody in the nation, quote unquote, had the same shot to go get that kid and try to turn him into what he turned into. Mm-hmm. But that might not have happened if he was at Illinois or O State or Penn State or Miami. That might not have happened.
Or even a stubborn coach would be like, no, this is our system. This is what we're going to do. And your
favorite team had one of those coaches. His name was Tubby Smith.
Yes, it was.
And he had a guy on his team.
Tubby Ball. And then when you watch Rondo play, you're like, why? He would show glimpses, and you'd be like, why didn't Tubby take the reins off of him all the time? It's just because how he is.
Because people are people.
Yeah, and that's
at the end of the day,
and Tubby made it so far. That many years doing what he did, and he was like, "This is how I am."
If any of our listeners watch Last Chance U this season on Netflix, then you'll see that classic case. So you have a coach that's coaching at a JUCO. He has a quarterback that was the number 1 rated quarterback in the nation. Went to Florida State. His name was Malik Henry.
Okay.
This was like 2 years ago. He was number 1. Ended up not panning out at Florida State. Got kicked out. So when he goes there, there's certain plays that are happening on the field, and he's telling the coach like this isn't how this goes. Like, you're making the wrong call. Like, you're not using me right. And the coach is like, man, like, okay, I get what you're saying, but you can't call me out like that in front of the team.
I can see both sides of the coin on that.
No, I can too. I can definitely see how the coach is like, look, bro, like, I get it.
Yeah,
but you can't do this because I have to coach these other guys.
Yeah, because if you lose control of the team, it's a wrap. Your season's gone.
Your season's gone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're looking at a coach who looks.
That's in that situation. That's the time where you have a personal meeting with him in your office, just you and him, and you all discuss what would be the best way to use him going forward. Now, if you're just going to be stubborn and just be like, nah, we're going to do it my way. That's just what, like Tubby Smith, or at this point, I hate to say it, LeBron, if he doesn't get himself to that post and start working from there, it's going to be an ugly situation.
The best thing about LeBron, I know we're jumping around sports, but we're like popcorning off the last word somebody says. But the best thing about LeBron is that I think LeBron does know that. I think the reason why he's been playing the way he's been playing is because he's had to.
Yeah, I hope he realizes it's time to go.
Yeah, that time I think he wanted to get that championship. He got that championship. Now it was like, this year I think he had something to prove. Yeah. Like, it was like, all right, like, I'm gonna see if I can win this with this team. Yeah. Then I am what they say I am.
He just needs.
And now
post and work, man.
Now he's in LA, bro. Like, I think really LeBron's about to see the LeBron you want. I think.
I'm not a LeBron fan, so there's no LeBron.
I know you're not, but what you just said, like what the words just came out your mouth.
I want him in the post, operating, and then take it outside and then destroy the. He's gonna have to move to the 4,
and then Stan starts doing his moves instead of Kobe.
Oh Lord,
I've been a LeBron fan,
bro. If Stan does like LeBron,
yeah.
Yeah, but he's gonna start doing that instead of Kobe. He's gonna start wearing headbands.
What if he starts pulling it? Because he has LeBrons. So what if he starts pulling them out of his bag? Like I said,
he does have LeBrons.
He does have LeBrons. Yeah. So what if he starts pulling them out?
He's like, no, I've had these, man. I'm playing these.
No, he has, yeah. Like, I know for a fact. I know he has a pair of white and red LeBron 7s. I know this is random.
Very random.
I be knowing people's sneaker closets.
That's weird, man.
Is it weird?
No, that's kind of cool.
That goes, like, we can have this conversation later in the podcast when we get to that section, but that's one of my, like...
Okay. I'm pretty sure I know what's in your closet. Yeah, everything that's in your closet.
I know Ari does because he opened up every box one day when he came to my house. And I was like, will you put the paper back right? He was like, I know you had these. And just throw them back in. I'm like, what are you, some sort of heathen? You raising the barn?
I just don't understand why he's so OCD about them.
There are certain things I'm OCD about. My shoes are one of them. It's probably
What's the name of this segment? What's the name of the shoe segment?
It must be the shoes.
All right. So we're leaving sports. We just had a good old barbershop debate about some random. And now we're talking. Now it must be the shoes.
Yeah. Go ahead. You're host. Go ahead.
Kyrie Irving,
the cereal pack.
Cereal pack?
The cereal pack. What do y'all think about cereal?
First of all, you all realize I have to get the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It was my number one cereal when we did top 5 cereals.
Yes. Well,
so I'm going to get those. That's a
and
must.
It's brown, so I have to have it.
It's a fall colored shoe for Austin.
Bro, you gotta stop. This is something.
You just wait till fall. I'm gonna have pumpkin spice lattes all over the place.
Oh my god, that's when you're the best you.
Apparently to Lindsay, I married her and I've dated her for like 2.5 years, and I still don't know what that means. I'm just like that stuff in the fall. I'm like, well, let me know when that happens.
A lot of shawls.
She's like, my wardrobe just expands.
Leather vests.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with her, bro, because I'm a hoodie guy. So, like, once I can pull them hoodies out.
I do like fall because I can go hiking and not be miserable.
Yeah. There is something like when you're on the fringe of fall, like coming out of like summer, and you're like,
Plus tailgating.
I love some
Nothing better than having a beer in a hand of bratwurst
Corn-
next to that beer.
And Asian pears.
cornhole.
Boy, don't you start me with some Asian pears now. Don't you start me on these
When
Asian pears.
If Drew ever gets a collab, it's gonna be the
Asian pear.
Damn right.
The Asian pair ventilators. All right, wait, hold on. This is gonna be our segment. What would each one of our collabs be? All right,
Asian
so
pair
Drew's be
ventilator.
Asian pair. All right.
There's no doubt about that.
What is Ari's? It's gonna be.
It'll be a penny.
It's got to be a penny.
It's gonna be a penny. It's gonna be the blue typhoon penny.
the Polar Blast
Penny.
Hawaiian Punch pennies.
Now, which model though?
Which penny? Yeah.
It had to be the penny one, right?
I would think so because that's the most classic.
Yeah, you gotta do penny one.
Yeah.
All right. What's my collab?
Chino Brown. Austin times any brand chinos that you want to input.
Austin Chino Brown Karus.
Yes.
It's gotta be Asics though.
No, yeah.
It's gotta be Asics.
The Karu is for us. That's like the inside
Yeah,
joke
that's the
because
inside.
nobody knows what that is.
It's gotta be.
But it would be a Karu if it was here. But
gonna know
for the
one day.
masses, it's definitely gonna be an AC.
They're gonna know about
A
Kyrie one
Gel
day.
3.
July 3, yeah.
A Gel 3. It's like a Austin time. It's one of those multi ones. It's like Austin times J Crew times Banana Republic times Gap. Because he loves some Gap Chinos, bro.
Hey, the Gap Chinos are made for me.
I'm gonna go to the outlet, grab some Gap Chinos, bro.
They're made for me.
He'll send me a text like, "Hey, bro, I just left the outlet, bro. I got some Gap Chinos."
Hitting out here.
When he first got his first pair of chinos, I swear he was so hyped.
It
about
was a wrap.
And I haven't seen him in anything but chinos
Ever
since.
since.
You're not the only person to say that. Lindsay's cousin says it
Where are
too.
your jeans?
Yeah, what?
I wore them the other day.
I wore them the other day.
I wore them the other
The
day.
only problem is I don't like every tennis shoe with those jeans that I have.
Right.
Sometimes they don't look great
Singular.
with that jean that I have. I have more than one pair, but my favorite pair. You're not the only person to say this though. Lindsay's cousin's like, she said, "Watch out, khakis." I was like, "Why are you calling that?" She said, "You always wear these khakis." Someone that works at it too. I don't even care.
It would
Chino.
definitely be Austin
That's my first child's
times
name. Chino. Chino Ricks, get over here.
Yeah.
Chino Ricks. He's definitely gonna be named Chino Ricks, bro.
Oh my god.
That was good. I like that segment right there.
Oh, they be so. Oh, the materials though,
Oh,
bro.
the finest.
Plush.
The finest.
We talking about a chino from every brand
Yes.
on every panel.
Yes. Yes. It would just be called
And
the
the
Chino.
A6 logo
The
just be like
Chino.
Horween leather.
Oh, you better quit.
What? I hope someone hears this because this could be a
Austin's
collab.
furiously writing an email right now to
Yeah.
every shoe brand right now. Like, I have an idea.
let's
This is the shoe.
This is the shoe.
So yeah, the cereal pack.
Y'all lucky I'm not good at Photoshop
You should.
because I would definitely go Photoshop these shoes and put them up.
You should.
God, that'd be a good
July
one.
3s. That'd be solid.
That's a good one, man. Y'all lucky. I'm not good at Photoshop.
They have zero skill in Photoshop.
If you're really good at Photoshop,
Don't
send
talk
me
to
an
Ari.
email. Please
Don't
send me
talk to
an
Ari.
email.
Yes,
I have
God.
multiple ideas.
Don't talk to Ari.
We have 3 shoes we need to get done.
Immediately.
Yeah, actually, someone
Did we
do our
hold up.
collabs.
Did we just do Drew shoe?
Yeah, we said the
Asian pair
the Asian pair
ventilators.
of ventilators.
You know what's up?
Also, there needs to be a poutine one.
Which those would actually be kind of dope. Poutine.
But they would have to come with like the little plastic
They
or
would-
something, like the paper that comes in like under the poutine.
There'd be a Drew times
County
overkill.
Club times.
Ain't that the name of the Canadian one? Overkill. Drew times overkill times Reebok ventilator. Nah.
That would be hilarious.
Drew just redoes
The street meats just for poutine.
No, the not the overkill joint that he had. The Saucony that
Burgers?
he has.
The burgers.
The green Saucony, the teal Saucony.
Oh, the epitome.
Yeah, the epitome. Drew just redoes
The
that.
righteous one.
He just redoes it. He just brings it out the closet like, yeah, this is my collab.
This is
Yeah.
my collab.
like numbers wise.
He's like the otter. It's like,
Yeah,
I made this.
Like we're talking about numbers and talent. Numbers wise, that's Drew's.
Oh, that's definitely.
That's his best.
I'm gonna let
that's
y'all
his
know
best
right
one.
now, all y'all listeners out there, y'all ain't never put in no work to get a pair of
Nope.
shoes. Shame yourself.
Dedication.
Hard work.
This goes out to everybody feel like they can't see tomorrow.
Where's that?
Circumstance
Where's
what you
that
make of.
Nipsey Hustle when I need it? Just turn that nip on right now, playing dedication. 'Cause y'all don't know nothing about dedication, boy.
No.
Man, if you can
No.
shoot sneakerhead, man, you'll never know about it.
No, I've never seen a story like that.
Amen.
We talked about this at probably episode 2, whatever that was.
It was needed.
Star Wars episode 2. We probably talked about it. Oh my gosh. So cereal pack. What are your guys' thoughts? We've had Lucky Charms, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Kicks, and
That's it.
is that it?
It's 3.
Lucky
So
Charms,
is
Kicks,
Cinnamon Toast Crunch the best one? I know Drew and I just
Yeah.
confirmed.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
But I will. Cinnamon Toast Crunch looks the best.
Yes, it does.
Details wise,
Lucky
that
Charms.
The
Lucky Charms.
Charms by
Because
far.
of the marshmallows on the bottom.
Yeah.
The
Easily.
insole.
And then the side is all the
That's
all
true.
the different
Like
marshmallow
the
shapes.
marshmallows. Yeah. The Kicks one is.
And the color. I like the color.
The
I like
color's
that
cool.
bright. When basketball shoes are like bright and like obnoxious,
Yeah.
those
Like
are fire.
Those
to me.
Kicks and those Lucky Charms are bright.
Yeah.
The box is
the
cool,
kicks
too.
ain't as bad. It's
That's
just
bad.
plain.
They're not bad.
Yeah.
It looks like a Geo.
I mean, it's what the cereal is. It's plain.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of sugar.
But
It's kind of
the insole on those Lucky Charms are pretty.
The
nice
box
too.
is cool too. I like that. I might see if I
now
can't get
I don't
that.
know if you go and if you don't, you have to get that
At the
box
pop-up?
from that pop up.
Oh, well, I don't
Now,
want
if you end up at a random place and you get them, you'll probably get a
The regular Kyrie
No,
box.
I don't want.
Yeah.
Because that box comes with like a bowl of cereal, like comes with like a cereal bowl and like a spoon.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
It better come with some 1% milk and the actual cereal in it because
It might come with the cereal. I'm not
Well,
sure.
that's
1%
If
milk.
it comes in
do you
Kif,
2%. What's wrong with you?
yeah,
Well, I drink
2%.
lactose intolerant milk, but
You 2%?
when I drank milk,
Yeah, I
it was
do
2%.
2%.
I go one. Just
I don't
because
drink
it's
milk a
much
lot
fat.
either though.
Yeah,
so.
I do lactose intolerant.
Same.
So
I've been had. I have this theory that people drink what they grew up on, and 1%. 2% was the longest time, but then we switched to 1, and that's just what I knew.
Yeah, 2% is what I.
You know what I mean? Because like, who decides a milk? I mean, obviously you're not going to do skim because it's water with white food
White
coloring.
food coloring is
but,
disgusting.
Right, and then
So
like,
Anna
whole
drinks.
milk is a milkshake, so it's like you would just have 2 choices.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 2 or 1%.
I mean,
Yeah.
to be
There's
1,000,
not a
if
big
I want a
difference.
bowl of cereal, open up your fridge and you got milk in there, I'm gonna pour it in a cereal bowl. I'm not too choosy
I'll be honest.
because
Yeah.
I don't think Kia drinks 2%. Like I think we got
Can we get a fact check?
1% in there or something. But she has to drink lactate also.
Yeah,
If
lactate's where it's at.
if I opened up someone's refrigerator and they had skim,
1%, bro.
good. All right, see, we're good with the masses. I would politely throw away, shut the door.
Skim,
If I,
yeah.
Oh, I think it's for cooking purposes.
yeah, that's why it's not even open.
Why
See,
would you-
So-
who cooks with skim milk? You're supposed to cook with like whole milk.
yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what that's for. I've never.
Did she know? She's like, Kia, you know you got
Back,
skim.
you know you got skim milk? I don't
Oh no, give me the receipt. I gotta take that back.
Ben might have got that on accident.
Yeah, so I
He
thought
was
the
like, it was
pack
blue.
is.
That's blue, so I thought I was right.
I thought the pack was pretty cool. I do like the low. I wish that the low Kyrie maybe would have had that pack, but I
can't wait till
understand.
it comes back on Nike ID.
That'll be. All right, I know you're going to send us
Oh, we're
14
gonna go crazy on
photos
them. Bruh.
of your different colors.
I'm
already
actually
now.
gonna buy a Nike ID sometime soon.
Are
I
you?
bought one before. I have one.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. I got they put the Jordan Team 1 on there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not the Team 1, the first Team Jordan. What was it called? The Jordan Pro. Jumpman Pro.
Jumpman Pro.
They put the Jumpman Pro on there like
That's one of the 2
in-
humps, right? Essentially on the midsole.
No.
Or that's the Team Jumpman 1, right?
Yeah, the Jumpman Pro is the one that like KG wore. It's like white and navy was the OG one. Then they had black, white, and red, black, white, and
Yeah.
blue. But I made one of those in like 2005 or 6 maybe. Me and Antoine both made one. Mine was all black and it had like patent leather trim, red sole, red Jumpman, and had my number on the back and Smitty up the pull tab.
That's dope.
It was cool.
That's dope.
I used to hoop in it. That's what we bought it for. We were playing for me, him, and Josh and Brian Hamilton and them. Like we played on Eastland church
yeah. I
team,
know about that. Yeah.
and we were black and red.
Mm-hmm.
So we all
Y'all
made
were like
shoes.
super official.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all were serious.
I think we got like refund checks or something for school.
Fair.
They
Oh,
were
there
like,
it
yo,
is.
I'm about to make some shoes.
Why
There
not?
it is,
Why
yeah.
not?
Some old random.
Now, if you were to ask me to do that, like, do they have them at the outlet
Yeah.
in my size? Because I'll do
I don't
that.
think they were that expensive back then. I think I paid $140 for them. It was like retail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't nothing.
Those Flyknit Epic Reacts have an ID thing, and I was kind of messing with that the other day. I want a pair of those.
I wonder if all the people that went out here and like bought that little white one or whatever that came out are like, now they're just a regular shoe.
The first one that released?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's not like super limited or nothing.
The one that the Golden State Warriors got was really cool. For the championship, it was only given to them. Speaking of shoes, you see where UNC players were selling their UNC Jordans and they got suspended or whatever, like 13 of them?
I know somebody that has a pair of those.
Really?
Yeah.
PJ Tucker does.
Jimmy got them. You sent me a picture of them the other day.
Huh.
Real pair of UNC?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he just contributed to them getting suspended.
But Jordan Brand's been sending them out to people, too.
Oh, really? Well, that's how PJ
like,
Tucker
to
got them,
YouTuber
I guess, right?
people.
But
Oh, yeah, PJ Tucker, he got like Oregon. He got the Oregon 13.
The Oregon
feel
was
like-
the coolest ones to me.
you could get those because remember, probably like last year sometime we in the group chat was sent out
The what you call
when
it?
they sell like all their old equipment.
Yeah.
So, it's liable someone got it.
I know
that.
somebody that went, and then I read the message board. At that sale, all they really had was like CP3s and like a couple of Mellows.
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of, I would have been
all over them CP3s.
That's actually what I wanted. Like I was like, I'm going to get some CP3s.
I knew it. I didn't even know that.
And then some random like team Jordan shoe. And then they said they had a couple like, I think the smallest was like a 12 and a half or something.
Damn.
Then everything else was like
13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, big man size.
So this is what I want to talk about in this segment.
Okay.
So I might be dumb and I might be super late on this. So any shoe person out there, don't flame me. Don't send me a DM like, yo, bro, you're super late on this.
Yeah, you stink.
But I think that shoe companies hit up YouTubers, and if a shoe doesn't sell, tell them, like, sends them the shoe and tells them to tell people that, like, y'all sleeping on
These are crazy in hand.
Because the
guarantee it.
Yeezy 500 was like that. So when you got the 500 for me, I went on there like a day or two after, and my size was still there. So when you told me they were shipped, I looked, and people had started making videos on them. And everybody was like, yo, I don't know why y'all didn't buy these. Like, they're still sitting. Like, you can still get them from retail. Like, these shoes are great. Like, it's a great shoe. People are sleeping. After that, the resale value on StockX went up, and they're all gone.
Yeah, I believe it. Why wouldn't they do that?
And so, the newest shoe, the shoe that made me realize that was today, was that Black Cat Tinker 13.
Oh, yeah.
So, I've been watching that shoe because I actually like the shoe.
You said the Yeezy, the first one, right?
The Yeezy was a 500 that did it. Because the resale on the Yeezy 500 when I had to sell mine to get the money back was just retail.
What's retail? Yeah.
It was like $230.
Right.
But now the retail's like $275, $280.
What?
Yeah, from the
In
pairs
a
I've
matter
seen.
of like a month?
Yeah, in a matter of like 2 weeks.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
21.
Yeah. 21. But I looked, so now it's like that Black Cat 13, and I've seen like
low, it's black and red.
Yeah, it's like the Tinker version, like what the original would have been, but then Jordan
with
said
the
he didn't want the
strap over
strap.
the-
Yeah. And so now I've seen like a couple of videos where people are like, nah, man, I don't know, man. Like, I really like this shoe. Like, everybody keeps saying it's ugly, but I like it. And I'm like, watch.
Prices.
In the next week and a half, they're all going to be gone, and the price is going to shoot up. Because right now it's below retail.
Do you think it's just
Might as well
like
snatch a pair
it
up
just
now,
takes
hold on to 'em.
that one person to say it? Like, maybe it wasn't like a sneaker company that said, hey, we need you to do this, but it was
There's
just like
enough
people are just now hip to it or something.
big time YouTube sneaker vloggers, I guess, if you want to put it that way. If you got it in the right hands of like 3 of them,
It would have
That'll
an
know.
effect.
You give it to like Foamer.
yeah, give it the foamer.
I have a problem with some of those because I watched The Living Fossils, one of the sock games I really want, and this dude reviewed it and was just filled with misinformation. And I was like, I know this, and he has 120,000 views, and it's just like
gotta
none of it
market
was
yourself,
even
man.
right. I'm like, that's not right. You didn't get the collab name right.
You also
didn't
got to
even
remember
know.
that a lot of these guys come from only buying Jordans,
True.
LeBrons, and Foamposites.
True.
But if that's the case, and you have that many, do your
Yeezys.
research.
Yeah,
Do your research. But I agree. But I
I
think
feel like we have enough knowledge on runners that we could have a solid YouTube channel and strictly
Yes.
runners.
yes.
They'd all be you guys' shoes, but yeah.
It don't matter. But you know about
But
them. It's
you
not
know
like you
about
can be
them.
like,
This
these Nikes? I love these Nikes.
We can talk about that after.
These check silver
Get
stripes.
off there.
That's
Yeah.
what I like.
I've thought that before, too.
Yeah.
I do think that the whole marketing thing part of the reason I took any business classes when I went to school is because I think marketing is interesting, and I think it's interesting how they make people buy things they don't need and or want, but somehow they make you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this thing where Starbucks, you know, how people will always put up like, man, I said my name's Austin and they spelled it with a Q or something like that, and people think that they purposely spell it wrong.
If someone spells Austin with a Q, you
Quaston.
punch them in their throat.
Quaston.
You punch them in their throat, close their trachea, tell them to go about their life.
Quaston Riggs.
It's silent.
Yeah, that's a silent Q.
That's a microaggression, Drew. Don't
But they had like this theory that Starbucks was purposely writing their names wrong, so people be like, look what happened to Starbucks again, and
And they
people just
post
see
Post it,
Starbucks. But you don't remember? I need a grande iced coffee, 2 stevia, and some cream.
Wow, he's got his order down.
That's mine. Actually, I had a venti in the morning with the summerberry swirl croissant. Watch out.
I don't go into Starbucks because I don't want to get arrested for waiting too long. So
Well, all you have to
That's
do is
just
do
me.
the
Drew
mobile
said
app.
it, not Ari.
You just do the mobile.
I know everybody was waiting for the obligatory racial remark from Ari, and it did not come from Ari. It came from Drew.
just saying.
All you have to do is mobile app. Just walk in there and grab it. You're good.
No,
I don't like coffee though. So.
I hate coffee. I don't
Yes,
think-
I,
I don't
I
like
like
to
coffee.
pay overpriced for my danishes and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I am a pastry
It's
guy.
like $2. Standard
For,
Danish price.
for an extra $1, I
What
can go to
good Danish
Kroger
are
and
you
get a
getting
full
that's less?
4
I don't
pack.
trust it.
What Danish are you paying less?
I don't know.
Okay, I was just saying because if you knew, I want to know.
You
too.
try and go?
So yeah, I mean, I just,
I mean, we can go on the Danish run Saturday morning if you want. What's up?
I love a pastry. That's why we're going to Paris. Why you think we're going to Paris next month?
If I go to Paris, I'm
Are-
definitely got a striped shirt on.
I'm-
I'm in a bike.
And you have a
I
hat.
got a
You got
hat.
a beret.
I
I'm
telling you.
got a beret on and a little bandana around my
Ascot
neck.
around your neck.
And I got a big old fucking piece of bread out the front, and I'm just riding.
I'm telling you, like some of these places, it's like, oh, this isn't what it looks like in the movies. There is literally a pastry shop on every corner. You could close your eyes and point, and you're probably going to hit a pastry shop,
Yeah.
and they're all good.
But I guarantee there's
I'd probably gain like
Slit.
that and gelato. I
Yeah.
ate my weight in gelato in Italy. I'd be like, yes, on my 6'1" today.
I like some gelato.
gelato's really freaking good.
Yeah, Lindsay, be like, is it your fifth? And I'd be like, is this your time to be quiet? Yeah, thanks.
if was a fifth.
I'm like, don't worry about me. Mind your business. What about yourself?
What about yourself?
Is there any other things shoe-wise coming out that you guys are looking forward to? I've kind of been on the Epic React right now. I know that it's been out, but I finally got to put a pair on. I like the way they feel, I like the way they look on foot. But the cereal pack is the one that kind of stood out to me. Everything else, I'm just kind of like, eh.
Trying to think, is there?
Puma's putting out some stuff.
Yeah, Puma's put out some decent stuff.
I mean, we know they're trying to get into basketball, but they've been putting out some of the clunkier dad-looking shoes.
So they essentially have Boost.
Do they?
That stuff that's in the basketball shoe.
Yeah.
They have a runner
Okay.
too that's coming out. It's like a sock type, like Ultra Boost type runner.
Okay.
But they have like the material because Adidas doesn't own the material.
Yeah. I can imagine their patent probably is run out.
Yeah, I don't think they ever had it. It's like
Really?
a BASF patent. Like,
Oh, wow.
and like they just make the material. So what Puma has done is they've put their own like that jammer or whatever it was
Yeah.
called, jamming, whatever that cushion they had. It looked like this. It looked like
Yeah.
a stone feature in somebody's house.
Yeah.
But they're putting that into that same foam, and that's what they're using in like the basketball shoe and this new runner and stuff.
That's what's up.
So it's basically just Boost.
Well, that's cool. I might have to try one on. I thought Sauconys are comfortable as is anyway. But,
Sauconys?
yeah, that's why we're not talking about them.
I was like, what?
For some reason, I had
You have
Sauconys.
a stroke?
What the problem is I have sneaker news pulled up and like I'm like flipping through some of the stuff.
And the Saucony
so like
button.
whatever pops up, I'm like, yeah, those Hyperdunks are great. Yeah. What about those breast cancer Ultra Boost though?
Those are dope.
I do like them. The only problem I told Drew is that sometimes when you have a primarily black shoe, it's either hit or miss for me. Like that one Haters pack, the Gelite 3, I don't like it because it's mostly black, and they either look way too big or I just don't know what to wear with them. I'm just like, I can't wear chinos or my one pair of jeans.
Your gene.
Yeah.
Well, there's some Ultra Boosts that I showed Austin the other night when we were playing
Oh my
Fortnite that I
gosh.
want to get that are actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, those are nuts. I think those are great.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the white,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
have like
those
a,
are the ones from the pack.
Yeah, I need
The navy and white
the-
one and the black and white one. It ends those.
Yeah, I need
Those are
these.
nuts.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had that gold, bronze or whatever.
Isn't that crazy?
Cup. That's
Mhm.
dope. That's what sets it off.
See if we
Yeah.
can get a picture of that on the,
Yeah, most
the IG.
definitely. Yeah.
Oh, that John.
All right, do we want to do a top 5 real quick?
Yeah,
Run through
let's
that.
Get in it.
Are we doing top 5 movies?
Top 5 movies. We're gonna have Ari start.
Ah,
Top 5 movies. I don't think we've done this one yet.
There was a little bit of foreshadowing in the beginning of the episode. We know one of them.
forbid us if we have done this, but I don't think we've done top 5 movies. So Ari, start us out.
all right. So they put me in classic Ari mode before we even started this.
It doesn't take
Why
much.
am I like this?
Why are you the way you are? I don't know.
I don't know.
We're
Why
still,
am I the
we're still
way
friends
I
with
am?
you. We don't care.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Why
I
are
don't
we
see
all the way
people
we
like
are?
me.
It's just what it is.
Hey, no.
But Blue Chips is number 5.
Hey, man. I got a Neon Bedell jersey in my closet right now.
Yeah, Drew, you can't have
I can't argue that.
You have the jersey?
Yeah, I have the
Yeah,
Neon
it
Bedell
came with the
jersey.
shoes.
Oh, nice.
That was the point of the shoes. It was the friend of the program.
Yeah.
Well, nice. Okay.
It came in the duffel bag with the money.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
Neon Bedell jersey.
It took him 7 years to get the shoe. Anyway,
Punch someone in
that
their
was a
throat
story
for
we've
that.
already told.
God, I hate.
So we got Blue Chips. We got Paid in Full.
Okay.
We got Set It Off.
Solid.
Okay.
What's number 2? Number 1 is like
On the trajectory
Oh,
you're going, I'm thinking
number-
you're going to go next with like Baby Boy or
no.
something.
Don't be a menace in the hood while Jingle.
Number 2 would be Scarface.
Fair.
I can't tell you how many times I watched Scarface.
It's one of those
But-
movies that when it's on, you have to watch it.
I've never
Oh
seen
my
it.
God.
Surprisingly,
When you
You've
jump
never.
in,
I feel like
what?
I've
we've
been
had this conversation.
Okay, so Austin's been telling me this for the whole decade that I've known him, and I've had the same reaction every time. Like, you've never seen. He has.
Mr.
I've seen 800. And
He has
something
like
movies, but
American Beauty or something.
I've seen
and
it.
he's never seen Scarface.
I own Scarface, but I'll say something about it when you're done doing your 5.
Number 1 would be Crooklyn, and I know most of y'all probably don't even know where Crooklyn is, but it's a Spike Lee joint, and it's about a black family growing up in Brooklyn in the 70s.
Fair enough.
And I could probably recite that movie from now till the end. Like, if you ask my mom what my favorite movie is, she's gonna be like, "Oh, Lawrence Crooklyn." Nobody wants to watch that, and I don't really know how it became my favorite movie, but I just like it.
I mean, Spike Lee has hits, man. And that's fair for that to be the number 1.
Yeah, I like
Because, I
it.
mean, Do the Right Thing, fire.
Oh, you do the right thing. It's fire.
College Days.
You're right. I think it's good.
I'm waiting. I want to see Black Klansman.
Definitely
when it
gonna
comes
see
out.
that when it
It's
comes
gonna be
out.
It's
dope.
getting pretty good reviews.
He Got Game is dope.
He Got Games, amazing.
Kind of a boring movie though when you go back and watch
No,
it.
so-
There's a lot of parts where I'm just
There's
like,
very little basketball.
yeah, I'm like, will y'all
Very
get back
little.
to the
Like,
basketball?
What game does he actually have, guys? We're trying to lose focus here.
It's a terrible movie.
All right, so you had Chips, Blue Chips,
Mm-hmm.
Chips, the police officer movie, okay, and then you had
No, the one with Dak Shepard, like
the new one.
Great, that's my favorite one.
So Blue Chips,
yes,
Paid in Full,
yes.
Moniker.
What?
What did you call that movie? What was the movie you liked?
Set it off.
No, what was the one you just talked about?
He's really had a stroke.
Chroniker.
Crooklyn.
Brooklyn was number 1.
Crooks and
I was
Castles.
like, I'm gonna need for you to listen while we do this
I
podcast.
am, but I never heard of that movie.
Now you're stroking out. and whatnot.
Crooks and Castles. Okay, Crooks and Castles.
So we need to have a movie night where me and Austin watch Crooklyn and we watch Scarface.
Scarface. There you
But
go.
see, here's the thing. I would love to have a movie night with you where you'd be like, these are Austin movies. He calls certain movies Austin movies.
Because
There are certain movies that are awesome.
like I'm not
movies.
watching a black and white movie.
Why?
I won't watch a basketball game where people wear like Converse All Stars. Like if you don't have any like support on your ankles, I'm not watching the basketball.
But you're closing
game.
yourself
That's
off to
fair.
some great
I'm
film.
not watching it, Austin.
I'm not watching
I don't
Hoosiers.
care. I'm not.
I've never seen
I've never
Hoosiers.
seen Hoosiers. And I would never
Literally,
watch
my
it.
argument to watch like
Don't
Kevin
start this.
always wants me to
Don't
watch
start this.
Hoosiers.
I'll never watch
Hoosiers.
Hoosiers.
Whoa, hi.
He always wants me to watch Hoosiers.
I bet he does.
And I don't watch it because A, I don't want to watch a movie where black people weren't playing ball.
Okay.
Exactly.
Number
Okay.
2, I don't want to watch a movie where nobody can do a crossover dribble.
That's why you take away some
3,
of UK's championships.
anything out of Indiana sucks.
Yes.
Exactly.
Indiana sucks, so why would you watch anything out of it anyway?
Right. So yeah.
Here's the
I'm
problem
not-
with black and white. What is the problem with black and white?
I don't want to watch a black and white movie.
But why?
Because I
What
don't
if it-
like,
what if it's modern
I don't
day,
like,
but it's black and
But
white?
I don't like period pieces.
It doesn't make it a period piece.
So, but I mean, this goes for anything. Like, I don't like, I'm not a big fantasy guy. So, it's like that's the reason why I don't watch Game of Thrones. Because I don't really like. I'm not here. I don't
But you
really
liked Ready
watch
Player
it.
One. That's like the biggest fantasy
That's
thing. Yeah.
nostalgia.
Ready Player One is
Nostalgia is a-
post-apocalyptic future.
But all fantasy.
But
all
it's
those
all
things are made up.
But I'm talking about
He has
like
an emotional
yeah,
tie.
You mean
it's
like
it's a
magic and
video.
stuff like
yeah,
that? Okay.
Like when I say fantasy, I'm thinking like
Star Wars.
Dungeons and Dragons, and
Okay.
yeah, like I'm not a big.
I'm
sci-fi,
not a Star Wars. I'm
not
not
huge
Star
sci-fi.
Wars.
Okay.
I like Ready Player One. I don't ever need to see it again.
Okay.
Like I like it. It was cool, but that's video games, so that's different. But I'm not a big like. I can't think of what was a sci-fi movie that I actually like. Like there's like a real sci-fi movie. Don't say like Guardians.
Alien or something?
EX Machina.
Isn't that really? I've never seen it.
That was only me and you in the theater.
Such
for
a
that.
good.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie.
Such
Isn't
a
that
good-
considered like a horror movie though?
What, EX Machina?
No, Aliens.
Aliens?
Alien
Yeah,
is
it's
the
horror.
first one is technically considered horror, but it really is like sci-fi.
But I'm also not a huge Aliens fan.
Prometheus?
Just to put that out there. Prometheus was cool.
Oh, man.
Pretty good.
It was cool.
Wait, so
Is
the
there
black?
a second one? Is it coming? Is it out?
Is there something like
Not yet.
It's not out yet.
that? Okay, no.
So the black and white thing. If there is a movie,
They're just not interesting to me.
What do you mean? The color of the screen doesn't write the script.
No, but the black and white, the movies in that period are interesting.
But they have black and white movies today.
like what?
The Artist is one of them. But some
No.
Nebraska. I mean, there's a bunch of them that are filmed like that.
Yeah, I'm not watching
The
the
artist
artist.
didn't.
But I
even-
feel
that
like
sounded terrible. when you
That
just said
one
that.
picture of the urine was amazing.
Yeah, and the movie takes place when in like the 1920s.
Probably, but there's movies
Yeah,
that are
I don't
current
wanna
times that are
see
black
it.
and white. There are current movies that are black and white.
Like
It's like
What?
I just told you, Nebraska.
What is Nebraska?
I mean, you might not like that movie, but there's a
What
bunch of
is
movies
it?
there. It's this dude wins a lottery ticket. This old guy wins a lottery ticket, and his family has to take him to this place to get the winnings.
That
But he's
sounds
like,
lottery ticket.
I'm not
Bow
saying
Wow.
that's the first movie you're gonna watch.
It sounds a lot less.
But my point is, just because it's not in color doesn't mean that the story or
No,
the
but what
acting
I'm
or
so
that's not good.
every movie that was made in black and white,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to see.
So you're counting out like a lot of Alfred Hitchcock movies.
I don't want to see them. Why? I don't know why. So
I'd say there's two movies that are black and white where I can say were good.
Psycho.
Psycho was good,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the portions of American History X that are in black and white.
that don't count.
The whole movie's in black and white.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Most of it is.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. The flashback parts are black and white.
Also, you know
That's like
this.
the
You
most
were
part.
in American history.
Yeah, man. You get that haircut, you in there, man.
Well, if that's
Come
the
on,
case,
man.
then yes, I
You
know.
are Edward Norton.
No.
You get that haircut.
Get out of
Good
here.
thing Lindsay married you and won't allow you to have that haircut anymore.
No.
But no, there's the parts where he does like the super violent stuff that's black and white.
Yeah.
But after when he goes like the
When
majority
he's
of the
out
movie
of
isn't in
jail.
black and white.
When he's out of jail, it's in color.
Yeah, and they flash back to him being a skinhead, and that's when it's in black and white.
Right, but the majority of it's black and white because most of it's flashbacks. Because it's all about what he did in the past, and
No.
then
No, it
because
jumps
really
back
only
and
part
forth.
of
No,
it
it
being-
jumps back and forth, but it's not
Yeah.
a black and white movie.
Yeah.
When,
Well,
but
no.
you know what I'm saying when I say black and white movie.
Like Schindler's List.
You just mean something else.
Yeah, like I'm not
That's
watching
black and
Schindler's
white.
List.
That movie is.
I don't care how good the movie is. Like
That doesn't
when
make any sense.
But it's not entertaining to me.
What,
Like
how does a color not make it entertaining?
I'm telling everything that was made in that period.
But that movie is from the 90s.
Yes, and it's still black and white, and I don't want to watch it.
Okay, you just don't like black and white, I guess. I
You
don't
know,
know. It doesn't
like,
make sense, but
it's just-
okay.
Because like every time I think of one of those movies, I think of it being slow, plotting, and
Yeah.
boring, and it's not entertaining to me.
Okay.
Like I said,
So like what you watch movies for the craft of it. Like there's certain movies that you'll be like, yeah, man, like this is a great movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, why is it a great movie? I mean, like the cinematography, like it won for like best cinematography, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't. None of that makes me want to sit there
That's
through
true,
it
yeah.
and not fall asleep.
But
If
I
it's a-
wouldn't like
if
it
it's a
just
boring
because
movie, it's a boring movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say it was boring. But if because of the cinematography,
I'm not in it
made
for the
movie
art.
great.
I'm a very basic guy. Also.
Okay, yeah, see.
Hey, nothing wrong with
And
that.
it better not be black and white.
Yeah, like,
Black
there's
and
not one. I mean, Sin City.
That picture's
that's about
That's
it.
that's black and white.
Yeah, that's true. For instance,
Except for the blood. The blood is
blood is
well,
nice.
that
And
one
the
dude's
yellow guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
it.
the way that they filmed that is amazing.
So that's like the only thing, bro. Like I don't like any movie that's black and white, man.
It's okay. I just feel like there could be a good black and white movie, and you would just automatically be like, no.
Yeah, I
I'm
probably.
like, all right,
would.
this is a documentary of your life. I don't care.
And it's probably, but to be honest with me, and
Okay.
if it's a black and white movie,
Yeah.
it was made in like Gone with the Wind. I don't want to watch Gone with the Wind, bro. I don't care how amazing it's supposed
Yeah.
to be.
I mean, yeah,
I
that's
don't
fine.
care.
I mean, I can.
I don't
understand.
want to see it.
That movie's different.
Frankly,
because it's
my
so
dear,
long.
I don't give a damn about Gone with the Wind.
It's so long. I own Gone with the Wind, and I've never watched it all because it's 4 hours long. There's an intermission on the Blu-ray. Yeah, I've never watched it because of that. That fact.
I'm good on that. I'm passing that.
Okay.
Old man Surly Ari's here. And
if you were old man Ari, you would watch black and white
If
movies.
you like what you like, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah. All right, my top 5's only gonna be black and white.
Yes,
movies.
I know it is.
No, you go.
Schindler's List.
You go.
No, that's a lie
Rear Window,
because
number
your number one, his number one movie isn't black and white.
No, it's not.
It's Shawshank.
Yeah, it's not black and white.
Yeah, but your number one Shawshank.
Probably. Rear Window's probably my favorite, but it's hard.
He's such a he's one of those people.
He is.
What? Rear Window's not black and white.
He is. All he needs is dark rim glasses. Like I don't know why he refuses to get these thick frame dark rim glasses.
Why do I
Like,
need?
He is
And
such
the
a
round- the
hipster.
rounded
when it comes
How
to
is that a
that.
hipster? How is that a hipster?
Well, you're not a hipster, but you're such an elitist. when
Wait,
it comes
You're
to
an
why-
elitist. That's the best way to put it. It's an absolute elitist.
Why is Rear Window make me
you know,
elitist?
like Rear Window. You know,
Yeah.
Why does
you
that
guys
make
just
me?
don't know. You don't know.
You guys wouldn't get it.
Why does that
Get it. You
make?
wouldn't understand.
Why does that make
Like,
me?
bruh,
elitist?
like,
Why does that make me elitist?
you know that's not the most entertaining movie that you get.
To me, it is.
You know it's
Well,
not.
Yes,
best.
to
You
me.
know it's not.
To
Deep
me.
down in your heart of hearts, you know that is.
You know
not the
Captain
best
America's
movie.
number one.
No.
You go ahead and say it.
That's a
Speak it
flawed.
into
It's
existence.
a flawed film.
Winter Soldier.
It's flawed. No, Rear
Civil
Window.
War.
Rear Window's not black and white.
It's not, but it's just.
Color.
But
It's just
it's one of those like art house type movies.
yes, you're so artsy fartsy when it comes to movies.
Just because I like one Alfred Hitchcock film.
You don't like
Top
one.
five. You've already figured out number
You
one.
literally
wins.
so-
you started buying DVDs just so you could collect the whole Criterion collection, Austin.
Those are in color.
I know, but it's not about. You don't
No,
have to
it
be
is
in black
about
and white to be
black and
artsy fartsy.
Logan is filmed in black and white. Film noir.
Logan.
Logan's not black and white.
Yeah, the one I have is black and white.
Well,
See,
Dog.
he keeps making
Dog.
my point. Like, why
No.
can't you just
you're
go
arguing
No.
for him at this point.
It came with the Blu-ray. I didn't pick it up.
You're
I wasn't like,
arguing
oh, I
for
prefer
him.
the black and white version.
He gave me the regular version. He said, "You can have
this.
this filth." I don't know what this is.
Jeez.
There's a black and white
This
version.
is not purist.
Technicolor. I don't want this crap. So yeah, Rear Window's
Such a
probably
purist.
my favorite
I'm
film.
telling you.
He literally probably has like a 9mm at his house.
No.
Oh, here we go.
So Rear Window, Shawshank. I have Shawshank number 2.
He only pops popcorn on the stove. He won't like it.
Not even like a little aluminum foil ones, just an open can. They went oil in. Pop, pop, pop. I think I hit on that one. Ah.
No, we have like a popcorn movie theater thing now. No.
Every time
These movies aren't even that old.
when we start the podcast, he gonna say, "Hey, I'm awesome." I'm just gonna go.
Hey, I'll take credit for that. I've have watched a lot of movies and I have no qualms about
Ross
it.
wearing like a button up with suspenders and like a roaring 20s hat on.
I can't wait till he leaves us and starts doing like inside the actor studio.
I'll still shout y'all out. I'll still shout y'all out.
So such a lowbrow podcast I used to do.
I was
So
dumpster diving those days.
Rear Window, Shawshank. My third favorite movie is probably. This is tough. I really like Godfather Part 1. The first Godfather was
Very
awesome.
Austin answer.
Never seen it,
Never seen it. It's
good.
Godfather.
It's really good.
but as we know, my story, I regret not buying it.
I know, especially for that. The third one isn't supposed to be. I haven't watched it yet, but they say that one's not the best.
They said the second one's the best, right?
They say the second one is the best. I watched it, but I don't really remember a lot of it because I fell asleep, so I can't speak on that. But ratings wise, yeah.
Obviously, it's not that good of a movie. You fell asleep on it.
It was a warm summer night, and I just fell asleep.
That's all the more reason to stay awake because it's hot.
No, that makes
Hey
me go to
man,
sleep.
you're my go-to. So if you fell asleep on it, that means it's bad.
No, it's long. I mean, it's 3.5 hours.
Ooh,
So for you,
boy.
anything, and it was warm.
That's a reach.
Anything over 2 for Ari, nighty night,
pushing
sleep tight.
If it
So
ain't named Black Panther,
Godfather.
you push it.
You got me. I'm lost.
I say Godfather, the first one. Number 4.
I'm so trash.
This is hard. Number 4.
I'm a terrible human being.
I think I might have to throw the Dark Knight in there.
With Heath Ledger,
Yeah.
one of the greatest acting performances. I've
Batman
ever seen.
Begins is probably my favorite out of that, but overall favorite movies. And the only
Batman
reason because it was like the beginning of them coming back, and I was like, okay, this is
Yeah.
a good Batman film. The last one we had was like Batman and Robin with Freeze and all that stuff. So I was like,
the
man,
Riddler,
this is
Jim
like,
Carrey.
Everybody, chill.
Oh my gosh. And number 5.
He's a governor.
Number 5. I need to go into the vault for this one. I got to see what my number 5 movie is. It's probably Goodfellas, and the reason why Goodfellas is
Your list ended up being way better than it.
What did you think? It was just gonna be all 1930 flicks.
Yes,
Casablanca, City Lights by Charlie Chaplin.
I don't even know the name. I didn't even know Charlie Chaplin had a movie called City Lights.
Yeah, it's like the number 4 movie of all time.
Here we go. Elitist, I'm telling you.
You guys have to understand.
But
I
I thought that's
this.
what it was going to be.
I thought it was going to be
He's
that
joking. Like I was sitting there like,
No, like
Here we
Casablanca is a really good movie for what it did for today.
What did it do for today?
Because people use a lot of things from that movie in movies today. There's a lot of sayings. There's a lot of where they filmed it. But that doesn't mean it's like in my top 5. But my 5th favorite movie is probably Goodfellas.
Why didn't you just go to
that's
school for
definitely
it.
top
I
10
love it.
for me.
Goodfellas is crazy. I just remember watching that, and I've seen a lot of like gangster type movies. Casino's one of them. I just haven't seen
Casino's
Scarface.
good.
And here's the problem with Scarface is that a lot of people who have watched it, I watched Godfather. I watched these in a row. I remember asking Tori this, and he was like, "Well, have you seen this?" And I was like, "Well, man, I've been kind of on like the mob movies," and he was like, he said, "I'll be honest. It's just not that same par as those other ones." He's like, but it's good. And for some reason that stuck with me. I don't know why.
Because, okay, so your difference is Scarface isn't a mob movie, first of all.
Okay.
Scarface is like Rags to Riches movie.
Okay.
It's just in a gangster form,
Exactly.
basically.
Okay.
When you do your mob movies, there's a sophistication to them.
Yeah.
Scarface, there's no sophistication. Like Scarface, like
bullied people.
he's a coke dealer, bro. Like
Right.
he's a dude that he was an immigrant that came over here, was treated like crap,
Okay.
Wash dishes.
didn't have nothing. Then he became rich off selling coke, and then he started doing his own stuff. Got supremely paranoid, and it ended up being his downfall.
Okay.
So it's not like Goodfellas where it's like, yo, like we all wear suits and we're a family, and
It's just something about that movie, man. Like even the opening line where he's like,
bro,
"Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be a gangster."
Yeah.
That's
That's it.
crazy to me. And like they're glorifying stuff that's awful,
No,
but it's still good.
If you are a rap fan and you don't like Goodfellas,
There's a problem.
there's a problem because
It's
like
good.
any good rap song, any good rap album,
There's a Goodfellas reference.
has a
Doesn't
guarantee.
Jay-Z sample them on one of his songs?
Probably.
Yeah, that very
Every
opening
song.
line.
Yeah.
That very opening line.
Ever
then
since
it
a
goes,
kid, I always wanted to be a gangster.
There's Benny Siegel.
Yeah, but God, Beanie Siegel.
Yeah.
Quoted the
Watch
crap
out,
out of it.
man.
Here's the thing about Rear Window. You were asking me why like it's not the most. You say it can't be the most entertaining.
What is Rear Window about?
Jimmy Stewart is a photographer,
paranoid, right?
and not really. He breaks his leg, and so basically all he can do is
Look out the
watch out this apartment complex.
And he thinks his neighbor killed
And he
him.
thinks his neighbor from across like this like causeway killed his wife, and so he sends like his girlfriend at the time was Grace Kelly to like check it out. And I don't want to tell you all the rest of the plot.
I'm not gonna watch this.
No,
just say it.
but
I mean, we've seen the one with Shia LaBeouf.
Okay, so
that one's
yeah,
not bad. Disturbia's not bad.
Disturbia is
yeah.
the same.
But
Yeah.
it's the way that Alfred Hitchcock did it. Because if you came to somebody and was like, "Hey man, this movie's just filmed out of his back window," and he doesn't really leave the apartment, but it's like suspenseful and like you're like, man, like I want to know what happens. That's what drew me to that movie. And for him to just be able to do that with that little thing, I think is impressive. And that means that the acting was good and the writing was good. But he does find out that the dude did kill his wife, and the police didn't believe him. And so he sends Grace Kelly over there, and she gets caught like in the apartment from the guy. And so he comes over, and they end up like having like this fight, and he's in a wheelchair, and he ends up like falling out his window and breaking his other leg, and like that's how the movie ends. But no one believed him, and he had like photos, and he would like come through like his camera lens and look at him doing it, and it's like super suspenseful for like what it is. And I like a good like suspense movie. That's why I like it, and it's impressive how he did it with just in an apartment complex. Yeah.
That's a good
Did I
reason
sell
to
you
like
on
the
that?
movie.
I still don't want to see it.
That's
but
fine.
yes.
That's fine. But you see why like, the plot is super cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Shia LaBeouf like left the house, he was able to do stuff. But
Yeah.
this dude basically was going crazy because he couldn't do anything, and he got to know everyone's routine. He's like, "Oh, here comes Ari, eating cereal again."
There's not a better
Like,
actor than Shia LaBeouf.
Drew, do you have
Is that
something?
ours
for
now?
That movie would have been number one if Shia LaBeouf was alive back in that day.
Shia
He
LaBeouf
wa-
got
he wa-
bars, man.
Bro, have you ever seen Holes?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my top 5. That's my screen rant in between the films. So Drew, your top 5.
But before I go to my top 5,
Yeah,
have
go
you
ahead.
heard the Shia LaBeouf freestyle on Swayze
Yeah.
I have, yeah, but
I'm just saying. Get that man, put some respect on that man's name. Y'all out here dogging this man.
He's a weird guy.
He is. But aren't all?
Have you ever seen the thing where he like sat in a room and you could go in there and he would like cry and apologize to you?
Yeah, what are you like naked or something?
Nah,
And
he
there's
just in a room and like then he had like a bag on his head at first, and then he like takes it off and he's just like bawling, crying. And he's like apologizing to you.
That, and there was one time where he put himself in like an elevator and just rode the elevator for like endless amounts of hours.
I can believe it.
He's a different dude, man. Even Stevens ruined that kid. Too much fame, too quick. All right, top 5.
Get it, Drew. Get it.
Number 1, Gladiator. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
I named my kid after it.
Literally, yeah. My son's named Maximus. I tried to name him Maximus Decimus Felician, and I wasn't having it.
So I've never seen Gladiator.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Really? All right, so our movie night is you're going to watch Rear Window in color, and you're going to watch Gladiator.
That face when you said Rear Window.
It's in color anyway. I just like to throw that in there. I'm going to start doing like, we're going to watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in color. What if I just transformed all my movies into black and white?
I believe you probably would.
I mean, some of them I'll still
Maybe
watch.
I'm colorblind. All right, go ahead, Drew. Don't listen.
Gladiator, just the story's amazing. Fight scenes amazing.
Are you not?
Yeah, that alone. I mean, that's just a great. I don't know. Something about that movie just absolutely captured me, and I've loved it ever since I first saw it. Number 2, Shawshank Redemption. That's just one of the movies you watch regardless.
I remember letting Ari borrow that, and his response was, "I really enjoy that movie all the way through." And I was like, "That's the idea.
Because that's what it turned me into.
That's the idea."
I couldn't say, "Yo, this was dope." I said, "No, I really enjoyed that."
And you do for it.
I think he said thoroughly. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie all the way.
I really
through.
did. Like, I was surprised because I was like, "Man, everybody always talking about this movie so good."
man.
Blah, blah, blah. I sat there and watched it, and I was like,
It's a good.
I don't know where you can like pinpoint and say like what about it is so good, but it's like
The storytelling.
The storytelling.
It's a good
is
story,
great.
yeah.
It is.
The setting.
And there, you feel bad for him because he's in jail, but then you kind of don't. And
Because
there's
he
some
makes
people in
the
there
best
suck.
out of the situation he's been given.
And then I'm forgetting his name, but the librarian.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes and like hangs himself.
Hangs himself, that was rough.
And like he's just so out of touch with.
He was institutionalized.
Yeah, it's awesome.
movie.
It is good. So
Um,
Shawshank.
Number 3, Good Will Hunting.
I've never seen that. I need to see that.
Jesus.
I know.
I've seen it
I know.
once.
Dope movie, man. The very end of it when Ben Affleck, well, at some point in time in the movie, like they're at a diner or a bar or something, and Ben Affleck tells him every time, like, every day I come to your house, honk the horn and wait for you to come outside, and you come. One day I hope I'll come out here and honk this horn, and you don't answer because you've done something better. And then the end of the movie, he goes, honks his horn. He doesn't come out. He goes, looks in the house. Damn near teared up, man. Dope movie. Dope movie.
How you like them apples?
That movie's so good. Number
Like,
4.
like Boston accents. Go ahead and watch it.
So, the town.
It's not as bad as
Get
like
some
This
smashes.
The town.
The Town. I
Isn't
missed
it
that one.
Departed? Doesn't it
The
have, like,
Departed is hella hard Boston
Yeah.
accent.
I should have found that in there. That movie's amazing.
That's a great
It's a
movie.
good movie,
My
but like I
goodness.
think I've erased it from my mind because I was like, "This needs subtitles. I don't know what's going on."
Yeah, you do need
I'm gonna go
to.
Harvard. Number 4 probably be like Finding Forrester.
Good movie.
That's another
Wow.
Good
man.
movie.
In high school, we used to watch that movie every night to go to bed because we didn't have cable in my room, and I just had my PS4 or PS2, I guess, and I would just pop that in and go to sleep to that. Number 5, I gotta have a comedy in there. Dumb and Dumber, man.
The best comedy of all time.
Dumb and Dumber, just so quotable.
The best comedy
It's
of all
so
time.
good, man.
You don't like it?
What's the best comedy of all time?
Comedy's a hard section for me. But I agree
I'm
with
bad though because I'm the worst. I'm trash. Like I love Will Ferrell movies, and like I thought that everybody loved Will Ferrell movies until I started telling people that I loved Will Ferrell
good-
movies.
and they're like-
Yeah, and they were like, "Bro, I hate them." I'm like,
you. He wore his welcome out.
Talladega Nights was good. Anchorman was good. Anchorman 2 is trash.
They're just all the same. He played.
Step
he's
Brothers
the
was
same.
good.
he doesn't.
They're all the same.
He's a anchor man in one.
I'm not talking about
he's
his
a
character.
race car
I'm
driver.
talking about
in another.
his
He's a
comedy.
grown kid in another.
His comedy is the same. His comedy is all the same.
Bruh, Step Brothers is hilarious.
I love Step Brothers.
You want to know how many movies I've seen? 824.
I don't
Should be 825.
He knows them. He has them in a database.
I guarantee you.
Every
he has
single
an Excel spreadsheet that
No, I
and
do
the
on
date
his
that he watched
IMDb.
it.
No, on my IMDb, I watched.
What kind of star level are you? Is there like a what?
Yeah,
there
they-
has to
Oh,
be a-
I think you have to actually like rate it to do that. I don't rate any movies. I just put them in my
I
watch.
figured that they'd be able to take like the average rating per movie and then say this is the type of movie you
they could
watch
probably
nothing but like
Metacritic
4.
yourself.
Well, honestly, I did it when
Why
I
don't
just
you do that?
because it's hard for me to rate something sometimes like that. And I just don't want to take the time to go back and rate 824 movies.
No, I'm saying like in the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess I could. I guess I could do that. I like it just because it's a visual representation.
Tell you, man, we passing up on
A
content.
lot of money, man.
We should do that then.
A lot
Awesome.
of money.
Passing up on content.
I'm telling you.
So there you go. Our
You
top
can-
five.
You can put your snooty cinephile stuff to use and like,
Y'all not ready for
actually
that.
like do
He
something.
could be in like a overgrown, like oversized leather armchair.
Look, man, I'm just trying to get you
You
to
need
your
artisanal
leather
tickles.
armchair, your brown suede patch jacket.
The sport
I'm just trying to
coat.
get you there.
But the
Austin.
thing is, I will watch
And your
movies that don't
pipe
have to be
tobacco.
like great. And that robe that Ari's wearing.
you
currently.
got the best cardigan on in this that I picture. Like it's like
The greatest.
It's the greatest
It's,
cardigan.
it's probably
Mr.
just like
Rogers
cashmere.
Oh, it's definitely cashmere. It's
Just the dopest.
the cash of the mirror, bro.
With a smoking jacket on.
Oh,
There it is for you guys. Episode
probably-
34.
It's probably a chino smoking jacket.
This is a good episode.
So if a denim on denim outfit is called a Canadian
Sounds like
tuxedo,
Chafing. Yeah.
what is an all chino outfit called?
An Austin tuxedo.
It's an Austin tuxedo.
Austin, Texas, yeah. All right, I'm going to leave you guys with our information again. Email, theatrpodcast@gmail.com. Instagram is ATR Podcast. Twitter, The ATR Podcast. Facebook, All Things Relevant. You can type that in the search bar. You will get our homepage. And there is a link to our website, which is atrpodcast.wordpress.com. And YouTube is The ATR Podcast. Send us your top 5 in movies. And let me know what your favorite black and white movies are, but send them only to Ari Smith at AOL.com. And that is a wrap for episode 34. We will see you guys next week. See you.
Peace.